Wunmi, Mohbad's wife, finally granted an interview, and it was announced as the first ever. Anyway, that was what was said by her interviewer. Anyway, as far as I'm concerned, I was a little bit disappointed because all the things I had wanted to hear to clarify a lot of things that people were saying all about, I really didn't hear them. First of all, I was expecting to hear about when actually he did die, because he was brought in dead, remember? And there's been a lot of controversies as that. So there was no clarity as far as that was concerned. Secondly, I was expecting to actually hear what was the cause of the fight that they had that night subsequent to his death. That's, you understand, that means I'm talking about the fight or the quarrel that has been established. I'm not talking about insinuations here. I'm talking about what they have said in the coroner court. Now, about why were they quarreling, let's put that aside. Well, it may be private, so you don't really need to know what is going on between the husband and the wife. And also the biggest question that needed to be answered. How I wish she had told us that I saw it with my two kuru eyes as Mohbad hit Prime Boy, or wanted to hit Prime Boy and hit the glass. Oh my goodness, that would have been one of the finest answers that we would have heard from her today. But that being said, we had a lot about Liam and Baba Mohbad. We had a lot about that. And those are things that we've actually had before, just, going back to tell us how the Baba used to say this in front of what TV, so, going to a lot of radio stations and all of that. Those are the things that we know. She should have come out to give us new things, Well, as in some things, get. Oh, God. Nigerians have been waiting a lot for this interview to come. It came today. First of all, I expected it to be everywhere on the internet. Maybe it's because it lacks what people were expecting, or probably because they didn't expect her to have an interview. And also, the biggest question didn't get answered. Now, let me go to another question that was so important to have been answered. Was Mohbad really, really dead? I know he was certified dead in the hospital, as in brought in dead, sorry. Now, for the conviction, for her to convince every other person that has been saying that, Baba buried him too early, stuff. So, dead bodies are meant to be buried, isn't it? So, maybe he was dead. They told us he was dead. We are expecting something to give us an insight as to why the rigor mortis had already started to set in as at the time they got to the hospital. I don't know, anything is possible. And another thing is that I know be science student to know if rigor mortis will set in before somebody gets from home to the hospital, right? Or that it will take enough hours before it sets in. So that's left for those who are in sciences. But honestly, between myself and I had expected more. But this is just a first time. And when something is a first, there's room for second, there's room for third, there's room for even 10th. So if it is serious, let's keep hearing. And if that's all she gotta say, she has said it. So it's there for you or Amebos to decipher what you want to decipher. Think about what you want to think. She has said her piece. Kinjira.
Finally, Mohbad wife Wunmi don finally come outside explaining her own side of the story. Now say try this Mohbad death saga, blah blah blah. She never really come outside, she never talk anything. One thing when say she talk for that interview when I hear, she say really Naira Marley really bully and really bully her husband. Say she's aware of that. Say but according to autopsy say na injection night by Mohbad. That one and one. Number two thing when I hear say she talk, say why she no do DNA. Be say Mohbad papa talk say after the DNA she's not allowed to come to the public to discuss anything, to even share the result to the general public. And number two, she will not arrest him after the DNA. That's to say the papa no say the pikin na, understand. So he won't save his head, so they won't go arrest. If they no go arrest you after the DNA, so as she come listening to wetin the agreement, I just say she no fit do that kind of DNA. Say they no want make she come to the general public or talk her own part of the say she no go fit. That one night she talk, she just explain. But my own be say, babe, as you cause say no be Naira Marley, and you know very well say like when person want attack person to buy person like physically, cannot be spiritually or attack him now. All the things when someone is talking physical, they say is one. You for come as all those times they want to prosecute Naira Marley, say, oh, Naira Marley no do this thing, no, I don't know if enter for back, but the one I know where I know rich. If you no call allow the thing call rich, say they will call the because that period if they fit stone person to death, Nigerians already stone Naira Marley to death. So it's not good the way you just stay quiet. It don't make sense. But anyway, Shami, we understand say you dey go through a lot as a woman for Nigeria. You need to really ready for as a woman, because anything when you say happen, they go blame you. Your husband died, they go blame you. Pikin died, they go blame. Like anything happen, they go blame you. So as a woman, I just feel say Nigerian women, most of the African women, God just give us some kind of extra strength to withhold all those things. All these kind of things, if it happen to white woman, before you know that they say one person fly over the fence on that person. Yes, because at the end of the day, as I listen to the girl and everything. She even mentioned Bebela, Shruda, and Sheriff. I don't know that I don't mention her before. She mentioned their name, thanking them. You know, be like fish pie when you say one called come other parts. My mentioning name. She mentioned their name, thanking. They even mentioned some of all the friends. And anyway, Sha.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, I'm fine now. Thank you. That Naira Marley, those guys were on mask. Were actually running after us with gun. I could not even sleep. Like, I had to stop breastfeeding my baby. From the second day I lost my husband up to this moment, I've been getting bullied online non-stop. What they are fighting for is my is my husband's royalty. And this whole thing is now looking like a generational curse to me, because this same thing was done to his father. I would want the world to also know that my husband is not a drug addict, as it was labeled.
So Mohbad was not a drug addict?
No, he wasn't. I've not even won the death of my husband. It still feels like my husband is still alive, because he's in Yaba morgue. He has not been buried. And he's been pieces twice. They literally did two autopsies. The government autopsy and the private autopsy my father-in-law did. In fact, even the day they wanted to bury my husband, they didn't inform me. I got to know online. Even the day of his burial, they wanted to kidnap Liam from me. It got worse to the extent that we had to put Liam inside nylon to take him out of that space. It's the day I'm celebrating my child's birthday, and I'm also mourning my husband. If you have a one-on-one conversation with my father, behind closed doors, what he will tell you is property. He has called me a promiscuous woman. He has called me a cheating wife. I've been called different names. I'm helpless at this point. He has tried to take my right away from me as a woman.
If your son Naira Marley today, what will you tell him?
One thing I will tell him is that even if the whole world do not believe what I've been saying, you know deep down that you maltreated my husband.
Let's quickly talk about Wunmi Aloba interview with Jude. Oh, I know most of you guys will not like what I'm saying, what I want to say about the interview and this young widow. I think the lady is going through a lot. She's been through a lot, and she's still going through a lot with this problem all over the internet concerning family, husband family, friends, our husband's friends, and the media. I think they need to give this family some break. I think people staging show, gaining money from this Mohbad death should please move back a little bit. Let this family breathe. Let them face the reality. Let them know what is on ground. Because this Wunmi interview today with Jude on Jude platform, it gave me a kind of rethink about the whole thing. They turned it to saga already, which is not supposed to be. We are talking about very young boy, very young family, very young widow, and their baby. The internet caused a lot of damage in this issue. I think the best is for this family to disclaim everyone involving in their issue and go back to the round table with each other. They should have a round table talk about this whole thing. and let everything just vanish. They should just let the internet be at peace at this point. Yes, listen to this interview. It was so touching, very emotional.
One thing that keeps me awake every night. If only the dead could see. Because the whole family knew how much my husband loved Liam. He has tattooed Liam's name even before seeing him. He sees Liam as Liam is literally like his source of happiness. Whoever is happy with Liam is literally happy with the person, no matter how much he hates you. Do you understand? The whole family knows that. So whenever most family wants to see his good side, they will just have to carry Liam. And the fact that all of them is done in his absence is, if only the dead could see, he would have cried 100 gallons of tears. I'm not going to lie to you, because he would never believe this would be coming from his father. Because his father is one person that he loved so much. He doesn't joke with his father. His father first before anything. Okay, let me just say, now that he has a child of his own, maybe Liam first, then his father. And everybody knows how much he doesn't joke with his father. And so he would never believe his father would be the one to do this to his child. And few days before his demise, his father was with us, I think on Saturday. He carried his baby and put him on his lap. They took pictures together. Like, I've not even seen closure at all. It still feels like my husband is still alive, because he's in Yaba morgue. He has not been buried.
He has not been buried.
Yeah, he has not been buried. He has not been buried. It's so sad. He has not been buried. And he's been in pieces twice. They literally did two autopsies. The government autopsy and the private autopsy my father-in-law did. And I can tell you for a fact that there is no genuine reason why he's still there. My father-in-law has no genuine reason. But, he's been granting interviews saying, the government do not want him to get justice. The government is this, the government is that. Like, he's been manipulating the public. Like, he has said so many things. People, I don't feel like there's anything that people would say that the people in public faces would believe again, because a lot has been said.
Whenever I post something about VDM here, there is this very strange, but then the strange comment comes in mass. It comes in high numbers, and when it comes in high numbers, it comes from a place of conviction. That comment repeated itself this very last time that I posted about VDM and the need for people to support him and his voice and his cause and the fear factor about VDM. What is that very comment? That comment goes, VDM has government backup. VDM is actually working for politicians. Whatever picture they are trying to paint, what they are actually trying to say is that VDM somehow got his immunity from the federal government. You get it? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. First of all, understand that I'm not here to say that VDM does or doesn't have, because it's not in my place to say. Right? It's not in my place to say. It's not also in your place to say. No matter how much we trust people and believe in them, they can, decide to betray us tomorrow. But then, not until you have data. You see this thing called data. Anything that I do here, I leverage data so much. Whether I'm talking about the music industry, I'm talking about real life, I'm talking about politics, I'm talking about entertainment, whatever, I leverage data. Whatever I say I do, I always try to leverage data first. But if I ask you, where do you get that very information? From which place? From what place does it come from inside of you to confirm or to say that VDM is actually working for the federal government or any form of government at all, or any form of higher power that is in the political office? If I ask you, trust me when I say the information you're going to provide me with is going to come from a place of guesswork, assumptions, what your emotions and sentiments fit you. But that's not what we actually want here. What we want is, let's leverage data first of all. First of all, how did VDM came about? That is the first thing you need to ask yourself. Now, the answer is VDM came from a source that has more influence than real life, which is where online. In my past video yesterday, when I was talking about the fear factor about VDM, what that seems to be very intimidating about VDM, what people fear the most about VDM, I mentioned something. I said, your voice holds much influence and value online currently, more than it holds much influence and value offline. Reason is because we are in the content era. all thanks to this very black app. We are in the content era. Gone are the days when social media was just for the well-off. Gone are the days when social media was just there to just benefit the well-off, the comfortable. You have to struggle, put in a lot of works, put in almost your life before social media recognizes you. This very black app came and changed the very narrative that it's actually benefiting the poor and benefiting the rich. Matter of fact, the poorer you are, but have higher creativity or higher sense of purpose, the more rewarding it's going to be for you. And this is the reason why I said, and I'll keep saying, that this world has never been this busy. Everybody is busy. Every single person is busy online. In one way or the other, they're engaged. Every now and again, we always see people with their smartphones. Every single second, you're always checking up your notifications, and there are more interesting things to see in your smartphones once you enter any content media, especially this black app. I call it the content media. I don't call it social media. It's just content, right? The algorithm works on content. It was actually engineered and wired to pick content, reward content, reward the creators. It was since the emergence of this very black app that other social media platforms started feeling the heat and all that, because they were blessing voices. That was how and when Verydarkman rose into prominence without even preparing for this very thing. That is number one data. He grew this very niche alone. I mean, this is the first time digital activism has been taken so very far. You can even say that this is the very first digital activism in Africa. Digital activism. Now, you can't even say whether VDM is a graduate or not, but his influence, his confidence and boldness in the face of truth in a place like this country, Nigeria, that is the data you need to leverage on first before you start seeking about any government official he's actually working for. Because as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't seem like so. I said for the very first time, people are feeling the sense of patriotism. For the very first time, they feel that somebody's actually fighting for them, truly, in all honesty. For the very first time. And this very question will lead me to asking this very question. Why do people believe that this very photo is actually photoshopped? Why? So when the Okoya case came in, it was actually a video and photos, actually. Why didn't you guys even think? Why didn't we read or see where you people made such commentaries? Like it could be Photoshop. That was the reason why EFCC didn't go after the Okoyas. Why didn't you people say this thing? Must we have this bunch of hypocrites in every family? Must we? Why didn't you guys talk about that same thing? Why didn't you guys talk about AI Photoshopped as a reason why the EFCC didn't went for the Okoyas? He reached VDM turn. You guys started talking about AI. The question is even, why are you even reminding EFCC of their work? Why are you reminding EFCC of their work? The EFCC's work is to move into action, swing into action, VDM being the number one target. Right? First thing they would have done, if at all, that the whole thing was actually AI doctored and all that, the first thing they should have done is to go to that club, go, ask of CCTV cameras, interview the witnesses, the bouncers, the waiters, and the managers. They are the EFCC. These are federal government too. For the people who are saying that he works for the government, sometimes look at data first of all before you start considering your emotions or your sentiments or your side of conspiracy. Everybody has that side of conspiracy theory lying gently in them, but yet unharnessed. I've done my groundwork on that very photo. Yes, I have. There's a technical way to know if a photo is actually doctored, have actually passed through the process of editing or AI. One, there's also a process to know manually by checking the timestamps and all those things, zooming in to shake shadows. I've done that manual groundwork, zoomed everything. You see that money? They spray them. They spray them. No, they give excuse for these people. They spray that money. Video spray that money. Stop. Why are you making excuse for these people? Allow them to do their work now. If you look at the money, how it was actually going up and down, you get to see that the other one was actually merging with the background. And the reflection was actually hitting other. It was very obvious. Nothing to look around there. The money they spray them. Not be AI. Leave EFCC to do their work. We are trying to change this country once and for all. The least you could do was just to be talking this nonsense. If you don't know what to do, most of the times if I go to people's posts and I don't know what to say, I just do what? Shut up. I know they talk. If I say that what they are saying doesn't resonate with my theory, my philosophy of, I move. You should do that sometimes. They talk. If you want to say something from a place of you have something to say, not because you want to be heard. You're a man, you're a woman. Now we are talking about content right now. You still tell me that this guy, this Nguma, is working for government. You still tell me that this guy is working for government. This is content era. If you're naked for your house, if that's what you do here, some people are busy trying to fix the country with their niche. If all you do here is to make work comedy, some people are not here to do that. This is content era. Content, they didn't say skits era. Content means anything. There are too many things, thousands of things you can actually do here. Thousands of things. That is the reason why since the emergence of this very black app, so many talents has been discovered. So many niches has been created. Look at Lucky Udu. Look at Gege. Look at VDM. This is the very first digital activism that's ever happened. Let me speak for Africa. So the influence of content is too much. Don't neglect it. If I ask you one or two things that happen around you today, you don't know. But if I ask you all that happened in your phone, you do know that. That shows that you spend so much time on your phone, on what your smartphone provides. Because there are too many interesting things, more than your immediate environment, you get to see online. It's a programming. So the force you see behind VDM is a reflection of people's frustration. What you see back in VDM is a reflection of the collectiveness of people's frustration. Yes, that is the reason why you see that very force. All these places that VDM went and put pipe-borne water, which government supposed, run for a long time, and these people felt the joy, they will consider VDM as their president. That's the only name they know. That is how they will internalize it as this is their personal Lord and Savior. Content era. Whatever you are doing here, let me give you as an advice. Whatever you are doing here, be intentional about it. That is the reason I'm not surprised people like Pella. People like Pella is redefining the streaming industry. I'm not surprised that he is there. Look at the niches, everybody created for themselves. To answer this very question, this very thing that I've been seeing here, this very strange, small, little-minded question, I don't see it. First of all, leverage data. Then if you can't get something reasonable, then you are free to do with your emotions. But first of all, consider data. Governments, they avoid person. When I say they work for government, stop making excuses for EFCC. That thing is not doctored. They know doctor and they know editor, they know go AI. They spray and see the one way Kokopi carry for hand. If you see picture where the doctor, you go know. Now look at VDM's trouser. You see that trouser where he wear? To tell you that guy is one of the realest persons I've ever seen. That trouser where he wear, normally mates they go club where they are in wear normal designer, so but waiting dude, you go no say yes, na madman wear am. If you see that, you go not say in fight with person. If you see how dirty that trouser day, you go not say in go club, go fight with person. So his own activism is not TikTok and Instagram and Facebook based. They do it for outside. I say, look that trouser, that in a dirty. No be drink, but that they touch am. In touch person. Realest guy. They know edit time. He didn't even consider. And I me just zoom am. I said, this is not be designers now. I say, VDM go fight for club. So this is to answer your question whether the government they back them or not. There's no government. There is no government. Until there is none. If you're actually a content creator, you should ask yourself a question. What is your purpose here?
Just watch the interview Mohbad wife did with one guy like that. And I will tell you that a lot of things was revealed in that interview. And I will tell you in full confidence that there are a lot of things that these people are not telling us. But if this lady continue to do interview, the truth go to come out slowly. Just like some truths don't come out from this one now. Now let's start. Yeah, I'll play 2 videos from the interview. Let's start with this one.
Do you accept the result of the coroner inquest?
Man, that is another question. That is another awful question, because I knew that there is a nurse involved in this case. You know, he reacted to rejection. And since my husband, even the night my husband died, that my father-in-law got to the house, you know, the nurse even narrated everything that happened to him. In fact, my husband's manager wanted to get the nurse arrested that night, but he asked us to let her go. That he does not have any business with her.
Your father-in-law asked them to let the nurse go.
That we should let her go. That he doesn't have any business with her. And you know, despite the begging, that, you know, a lot of people begged him not to bury my husband.
So now they see a lot of things have been revealed. Now I wrote a lot of questions to ask. First things first, she said a nurse was involved in the whole thing. Secondly, she said she knew he reacted to an injection. She said it in more than one places, and I'll play the other side. Now I wrote a lot of questions. Now she said the nurse narrated what happened, waiting by Mohbad to Mohbad father when Mohbad came in that night. So she established a Mohbad by that night, because there was a part where she said even the night that my husband by, so 90 nights he by. Then she said when the husband father come, the nurse narrates what happened to Mohbad take by. Now the question is, since he reacted to injection 1, what did the nurse narrate about Mohbad by? What did the nurse tell Mohbad father? That's number 1. And since you were with them throughout before the nurse came, since you were with them, what happened there? Unless if you say you are not there. But the way you narrated the story, it's as if you were there. Now, what happened there? That's number 2. Now, you said your husband management wanted to arrest the nurse. Why did they want to arrest the nurse? You said that your husband management wanted to arrest the nurse. That means the nurse don't do something where it lead to the boy pie. So, what it make the one arrest the nurse? What happened that night? Una never still tell us. Now, who are the people in that apartment? Since you said the husband management, meaning the management of Mohbad was present in the house when the nurse came and before the nurse came. Exactly. So what happened before the nurse came, and why did they want to arrest the nurse? Now, for Mohbad dad, when they narrate what happened to Mohbad to you, according to what she's saying, why did you say that the nurse should be let go? Why you say may they release the nurse, may the nurse they go? Why you say may they release the nurse? Because for them to say they want to arrest the nurse, it means that the nurse don't do something very bad when led to the boy bye. So why did you say they should let the nurse go? Now, let's go to the next part. Let's play this side.
So, you know, the fact that the autopsy results came out inconclusive is one thing that I don't, you know, it's hard to accept. Because I knew so well that my husband actually had an injury from the fight he had with his friend before the nurse came. Although he had an injury. But in fact, the day he died, he had a podcast with one girl. What's the girl's name? Susan Park. Pajok, yeah, I think, I don't know.
Now,
He has a podcast.
see, a lot of questions. She has repeated that he reacted to an injection. But before this, she said he had an injury from a fight with his friend, Prime Boy. He had an hand injury, yes? That's number 1. Now, she also repeated that he reacted to the injection that the nurse gave him. Again, she now said, my husband was fine before the nurse came. So if your husband was fine, why did they call the nurse to come? Because person where they heal and hearty, they don't go call nurse for him now. Now person where be say it is sick or it get emergency or it need to check up, now they call nurse for make on check. She said he was fine before the nurse came. So why did the nurse come if he was truly fine? Now the question is this. Is your husband on drugs? Does he do hard drugs? Shane and the nurse, they administer hard drugs to Ram. Because if you are saying he reacted to an injection 2 times in that video, you said it. That he reacted to an injection. And again, In the other part of the video, you are saying that your husband was fine before the nurse came, although he had an injury from a fight with Prime Boy. So what is the story? Now, there's another part of the video where she said it is Adura that prepared the food that Mohbad ate that night. Although the father-in-law was thinking that it was her. Immediately he heard that it was Adura that cooked the food that Mohbad ate that night. He decided not to talk again because he wanted to pin the whole buying of the guy on top her. That one is another one again. Do you understand? So it's possible to say the boy chop poison. That's that one another side entirely again. But I decided to stay on this part. That why did the nurse come? And what did they narrate? What did the nurse narrate to Baba Mohbad say happened to Mohbad? And why did the management want to arrest? Why did they wanted to arrest? Which one be the English? Why did they want to arrest the nurse before Baba Mohbad? And why Baba Mohbad talk say, may they let the nurse they go? That's another side. Now, to the person where the interviewer, this does not look like an interview. This looks like a whitewashing. The reason why it looks like a whitewashing is this. You did not ask her about the voice notes that was released when Mohbad accused her of so and so. You didn't ask her of that. You literally didn't say anything about that. You just pick one or two things. Sometimes you go want talk, you go help her talk, call name. She didn't want to call name. Naira Marley and Sam Larry's name, she didn't want to call those names. You were the one that called the name for her. So it's obvious that you are trying to whitewash and clean the girl up. Now, to sum it all up, did you notice that Naira Marley's name wasn't in the bracket of what happened to the boy on that night? She said some things about they bullied the boy. She didn't call the name. The person where the interview and I didn't call name. But on that night, Naira Marley's name was never mentioned. So why did they bring Naira Marley's name into the whole equation? That's another thing. Now let me tell you something. In conclusion, I feel like Mohbad's wife is 70% innocent, but not entirely innocent. I feel like what happened to Mohbad has nothing to do with a lot of things that these people put online. I feel like somebody jumped into this whole thing earlier in the beginning and manipulated this girl to say a lot of things that she was not supposed to say. They confused her maybe. From this interview, I stopped the vibe I had before this interview changed. Now I'm seeing the girl in a better light, a little bit of a better light. But the truth is still not out yet. I feel like the girl is being manipulated by someone. That's my own opinion. Or by some people. To use Naira Marley to clean this. Because they just literally exposed everything now. Naira Marley was never involved. So why did they bring him in? Why did they bring all those things in? That being said, like I always say these things before, if you want to establish, say Naira Marley bullion, let's leave that. We all want to know wetin by Mohbad. Wetin that nurse tell una say do Mohbad? What did the nurse say? What did she explain? And why did the record label wanted to arrest the girl? And last question. Did this whole thing happen before you people tried to rush Mohbad to the hospital? Where una announce saying buy for inside that car? Because na inside car una announce. If you people announce say Mohbad buy inside that car at that time, why would I not announce say buy inside house? Why did you people need to put him inside the car? Then for the inside the car una announce him? And for you don't already tell us now. Say Mohbad, he reacted to an injection. And when the father-in-law came, they explained to him waiting by Mohbad, and the management wanted to arrest the nurse. Meaning say that guy don't buy for house. Now, but again, another problem is, see, this thing is plenty. Inside that car, those three boys, were they part of the people that were in the house with them? Are they part of the management that wanted to arrest the girl? And in that video again, the boy head moved, according to what I saw. And why did you people use a 15 seconds video to announce the buying of a big celebrity in Nigeria? Mama is dead. They end them. Immediately as the boy head be as if he raised, they end them. Next thing, they don't change position. They make another video. It was 2 videos. I remember vividly. Again, when the guy buy, una rush go talk say, when they see her post that time for Instagram, she dey post say, that they have taken him away from me. Since you know, say they don't explain, he reacted to an injection. Since you knew that he reacted to an injection, why didn't you say negligence or the nurse? Why did you use they have taken him away from me? He was always complaining, bullying and that. Now, this is the part where I'm trying to tell you people that I be like, see this guy, they innocent, somebody user. All those write-up did not look like somebody that was mourning. I somehow believe the girl that she's innocent. That's what is crazy now. Unlike me before. But now I believe her. I feel like somebody talked her into making all those posts to switch and to divert attention to Naira Marley and Sam Larry. I feel like she's innocent, but somebody that is way smarter than her, somebody that she respects, deceived her or manipulated her to make that post. I don't know if you people understand what's going on. But anyways, the question still remains, why were they trying to arrest the nurse? And what did they narrate to Mohbad Papa, like you said? What did they narrate to Mohbad Papa? This is the most important thing of the whole podcast. And that part, why they no ask you about that voice recording where leak? I'll be waiting for the next one that she will do.